Welcome, you curious minds, to another deep dive.
Great to be diving in again.
Today we're unearthing the hidden power of something really fundamental to English communication.
Mm,
Stuff we use all the time, but maybe don't fully appreciate its depth. Common English phrases.
exactly. We hear them, we use them, but do we really get them?
Right. So we're not just going to, define them like a dictionary. We're taking a whole stack of insights, linguistic analysis, social dynamics, the works to really extract the most important nuggets of knowledge.
Yeah, pulling out the good stuff.
Think of this as your shortcut to truly mastering these everyday expressions, the kind that, well, they make you sound not just fluent, but really natural,
Yeah,
like you effortlessly navigate the subtle currents of conversation.
and that's absolutely our mission today, to go
Yep.
way beyond those simple definitions.
Okay.
We want to illuminate not just what they mean on the surface, but how they actually function, in real-world scenarios.
How they really work.
Precisely. How they convey layers of nuance that, honestly, single words just can't capture. And crucially, why these specific combinations of words became the linguistic shortcuts they are.
Ah, the why. That's interesting.
Isn't it? These are the tools, the verbal tools that make conversations flow. They add color, precision, even emotional resonance, all without needing some long, clunky explanation.
Saves time, too.
Definitely. So we'll be unpacking 5 of them for you today, showing how these, seemingly small linguistic units, they actually carry significant weight, context, and a pretty fascinating insight into the English-speaking mind, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's really about unlocking that implicit understanding that native speakers just sort of have.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's dig in. Where do we start? To kick off our linguistic exploration today, let's zero in on a phrase I think many of us can relate to, probably almost daily, under a lot of pressure.
Oh yeah, that one resonates.
It's such a common way to describe intense situations, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're facing a high-stakes meeting or just trying to juggle a crazy schedule.
Or even getting dinner on the table sometimes feels like that.
Exactly. But what does it really tell us beyond just, I feel stressed? How does it capture that experience so perfectly? It's like a verbal shorthand.
Well, what's truly fascinating here, I think, is that under a lot of pressure describes a state of experiencing significant stress, demands, a heavy burden,
Mm.
but one that almost always originates from an external source.
Ah, okay. External. That's the key.
That is the crucial distinction. It's not just about feeling stressed internally, which, could stem from your own anxieties or choices. This phrase, under a lot of pressure, it distinctly implies an outside force or an expectation, something causing that stress to bear down on you.
Like a weight.
Exactly. We're talking about a metaphorical weight, almost like a physical load pressing down from above.
Okay.
And this external source, it could be anything.
Mm.
Unyielding deadlines, the weight of expectations from clients, bosses, even family, or just challenging circumstances that are, beyond your immediate control.
Mhm.
The phrase distinctly points to something exerting force upon you. It's not just indicating an internal feeling like anxiety or personal worry. It's about being subjected to something.
Okay, so give me an example to nail that down. Like the difference between just being anxious and being under pressure.
Sure. So you could be anxious about something you chose to do, like starting a new business. That's more internal motivation, maybe fear of failure. But you are under pressure in that same business because of demands placed upon you by, say, investors needing returns or tough market conditions or maybe some strict regulations you have to follow.
Ah, I see. So the pressure comes from those outside things, the investors, the market.
Precisely. It's that sense of external compulsion that really defines it.
That distinction, wow, it really reframes how we view stress, doesn't it?
It does.
It reminds me how often we forget to pinpoint the source of the burden, which, as you said, is essential for actually managing it.
Absolutely. You can't fight an enemy you can't see.
So it's not just I feel stressed. It's why you feel that way. And crucially, that the push is coming from outside. Like, imagine a student cramming for a final exam.
Classic example.
They are definitely, unequivocally under a lot of pressure to perform well. Not just because they want to, maybe, but because their grades, their whole academic future, maybe a scholarship, it all depends on it.
Right. That's the external academic system applying that pressure. It's not just their personal desire for an A.
Or think of a team leader trying to meet a critical project deadline. They're under a lot of pressure.
From who?
From their clients, their boss, the success of the whole project hangs on it.
Mm-hmm. Multiple sources converging.
Even, like you said, a parent juggling multiple kids, a full-time job, household chores. They're under a lot of pressure from just the relentless, often unyielding demands of daily life itself.
Yeah, the circumstances create the pressure.
The phrase captures that confluence of demands, whether
Yeah.
they're from institutions or people or just situations, all bearing down.
And that's exactly why its application extends so far beyond just individual scenarios. If we broaden the scope,
Oh, bigger.
yeah, think about a country under a lot of pressure to make a big economic decision. Maybe because of international sanctions or looming financial crisis or even demands from its own people.
Okay, yeah, geopolitical pressure.
Or an athlete under a lot of pressure to win a championship. It's not just for personal glory, right? It's for their team, their sponsors, the massive expectations of an entire fan base.
The weight of expectation.
Exactly. It signifies a situation where the stakes are really high and the individual or the group or even the whole country is compelled to act or perform. And there are often significant consequences if they fail. So this raises an important question for us and for you listening. How does really understanding this phrase help us differentiate between those external demands and purely internal feelings?
Well, it seems like it gives you a tool, right? A lens.
It provides a critical lens, yes, for understanding the source of the stress, which in turn can inform how you might manage it, or at least how you understand it.
Right.
It moves beyond just labeling an emotional state, like I'm stressed, to a more analytical understanding of the situation itself. It helps pinpoint whether the discomfort is self-generated anxiety or if it's being imposed from the outside.
Which can feel very different.
Very different, and, a common mistake for non-native speakers sometimes is just defaulting to stressed when under pressure would be far more precise. Because stress doesn't automatically carry that implication of an external source.
That's a great point. So for you, our listener, getting a handle on under a lot of pressure lets you articulate these situations much more clearly, where external factors are really impacting you or someone else.
Clarity.
Instead of just saying, I'm stressed or I'm busy, which, let's face it, can sound a bit vague.
Or sometimes like a complaint without much substance.
Yeah. Saying, I'm under a lot of pressure with this deadline, or the team is under a lot of pressure to hit these targets. That gives a much more precise picture. It's more empathetic, maybe, more universally understood.
It immediately paints that picture of demands coming from outside, makes your communication clearer, and frankly makes your listeners more understanding of your situation.
It's a really powerful phrase, then, for conveying both the source and the intensity of a burden. Instantly signals that the situation is demanding and often kind of beyond your personal control.
And it also implies, I think, a certain resilience, a sense that you are dealing with it, even if it's tough, you're bearing that weight.
Right. You're under it, but you're holding up. Okay, that's a great start. What's next? Okay, so from the weight of external demands, let's lighten the load a bit. Let's talk about a phrase that's all about efficiency. Quick action. Drop something off.
Yes. Much lighter.
On the surface, it seems almost, well, too simple, doesn't it? To drop. It's like something falling off, like away from, but you put them together.
And it's incredibly versatile.
Right, for describing countless everyday actions. And it carries this particular efficiency, this informality, that other verbs like deliver or leave don't quite capture.
No, they don't. It's got its own specific flavor.
It's almost like a linguistic nod to the hustle and bustle of modern life,
Yeah.
Getting things done quickly.
Precisely. Drop something off fundamentally means to deliver an item, or sometimes a person, to a specific location.
Yeah.
But the key parts are usually quickly and without staying for a long time.
The quickness is key.
Brevity and the transient nature of the delivery. Those are the core elements. It implies a swift, often convenient deposit or delivery. It's distinct from a longer visit, definitely distinct from a formal scheduled courier service.
Right, not like waiting for a signature.
Exactly. Or a meticulous, detailed handoff. Think of it more like a drive-by delivery. You leave the item or person and poof, you're gone.
Efficient.
Efficient, typically informal, and hugely common in casual conversation. That word drop, it really implies speed and a lack of ceremony, doesn't it?
Yeah, like you're just letting it go.
A quick release of the item, and then off confirms the detachment. You're detached from the item or person once the delivery is complete.
Okay.
It also kind of suggests that the item or person is being left where they're expected or where they belong. You're not just, abandoning it.
Right, you wouldn't just drop off trash in the street. Hopefully.
Hopefully not. It's about a momentary interruption
Yeah.
to your journey or your task, just to divest yourself of something at the right place.
Absolutely. And just think about your daily life, how often this phrase pops up. Sometimes you don't even realize how efficient it is.
All the time.
You might drop off your dry cleaning on your way to work, a quick in and out before the day really starts, minimal time spent, that's the emphasis.
Mm-hmm.
Or a classic for many parents, you drop off your kids at school in the morning.
The school run drop-off.
Exactly. A brief stop at the curb, maybe, and then they're off to their day, you're off to yours. No lingering chats at the gate.
Definitely no lingering.
You might drop off a package at the post office before work. Again, not necessarily waiting in a long line to chat, just getting the task done efficiently.
Getting it off your hands, basically.
It's about leaving something, fulfilling that quick errand, and then going about your business without delay. It's not usually about handing over something with detailed instructions.
No, the assumption is the recipient knows what to do.
Right. You're just placing it where it needs to be, expecting the recipient will take it from there. It implies this mutual understanding of efficiency.
And what's fascinating, I think, is just how ubiquitous it is. How common it is for describing errands and casual transactions. It really reflects a core aspect of our busy lives, doesn't it?
It really does.
You might drop off some documents at a colleague's desk when they're not there. You just leave them, assuming they'll pick them up later.
Yeah, no big ceremony.
Or you might drop off a donation at a charity center. Often you just leave the bag in the designated spot, no lengthy conversation, maybe not even a formal receipt right then.
Quick and easy.
In a more personal context, you could drop off a friend at their house after you've been out together.
End of the night.
Yeah, it signals the end of your shared journey, their arrival home. Or you might drop off a book you borrowed at a friend's mailbox. Super convenient return.
So that off part is really important then.
I think the off part truly emphasizes that you're leaving something behind as you depart. It signifies a completion of your part of the interaction.
Okay. Responsibility transferred.
Exactly. It highlights that the item or person is now the responsibility of the destination, or maybe just no longer your immediate concern, and this quick, almost effortless transfer. That's why it's so common.
It's like the linguistic equivalent of a quick pit stop.
That's a great analogy. And its widespread use just highlights how much we value time and efficiency in our daily interactions. It contrasts really sharply with, say, delivering something.
How so?
Well, delivering can sound much more formal, can't it? And it often implies a dedicated journey, specifically for that purpose. Dropping off feels more like something you do along the way.
Ah, right. Opportunistic almost.
Opportunistic, convenient, quick.
So this phrase helps you, the listener, efficiently describe all those common errands, those everyday interactions where you're just quickly leaving something or someone at a location.
Makes your English sound much more natural.
Yeah, and concise. You convey that swift, no-fuss nature of the action without needing a bunch of extra words.
That's a linguistic shortcut.
A really common one. Every native speaker probably uses it dozens of times a week without even thinking. And integrating it into your vocabulary, it'll immediately make your conversations feel more authentic, more streamlined.
Less formal, more in tune with the rhythm of daily life.
Definitely. Imagine saying, I will now transport the children to their designated educational institution.
Oh, please don't.
Right. Versus, I'll drop the kids off at school. The second one is immediate. It's natural. It's efficient.
It encapsulates a whole sequence of actions and intentions. Quick stop, kids get out. You leave all in just a few words.
Yeah. Signals you're not staying, not lingering, just facilitating that quick transfer. Okay. Now for a concept that really transforms how we discuss. Well, two quite different things. Personal struggles and communication effectiveness. The phrase is, get through.
Get through. Yes, this one is layered.
It really is. It has a few fascinating layers to unpack because it has more than one very common but distinct use.
Two main ones, really.
Right. It's a phrase that can describe both an act of perseverance, enduring something tough, and an act of successful communication, making someone understand you, which at first glance might seem totally unrelated.
They do seem quite different on the surface.
But when you dig deeper, maybe they reveal a shared core, something about overcoming a barrier.
That's exactly it. Overcoming a barrier is the common thread. It's like the Swiss Army knife of phrases, useful in different kinds of tough spots.
Okay, break it down for us. Meaning number one.
Okay, so the first primary meaning of get through is to successfully complete, or maybe just endure, a difficult, unpleasant, or challenging experience or period.
Okay, enduring.
It strongly implies perseverance, resilience, and ultimately reaching the end despite significant obstacles. It's not just about finishing something easy. It's about pushing past adversity.
Physical, emotional.
Could be anything, physical, emotional, logistical.
Yeah.
It's about enduring to the other side of a challenging situation, often with quite a bit of effort and strain involved.
Gotcha. Examples.
Well, you might need to get through a particularly tough work week. You know the kind. Filled with demanding projects, maybe late nights, perhaps a really difficult client you have to manage.
Ugh, yes. Just got to get through it.
Or you might need to get through a really challenging negotiation meeting where interests are highly conflicted, progress seems impossible. It requires intense focus, patience.
Right, surviving the meeting.
Sometimes during a very difficult personal time, maybe grief or illness or significant financial strain, you just focus on trying to get through each day.
One day at a time.
Exactly. Focusing on small victories, just enduring until things improve. So this usage really highlights the effort, the resilience required to survive or complete something arduous.
It's about navigating a difficult passage to reach. Well, hopefully something clearer on the other side.
Precisely. The focus is on the process of endurance, and it often implies that the experience itself is not enjoyable at all, but it's necessary. You have to go through it.
That makes perfect sense. It's about resilience, like you said. Gritting your teeth, pushing forward, often against resistance, either internal or external. And it's not always about huge, heroic struggles either, is it? Sometimes it's just the daily grind, the small battles.
Absolutely. Like trying to get through that mountain of paperwork by Friday. You know it's tedious, but it's essential.
Or needing to get through a long, boring presentation without nodding off.
We've all been there.
The challenge there is maintaining focus, maintaining politeness even. It's about overcoming some kind of resistance, internal boredom, external dullness, just to reach completion or endure it.
And there's a sense of accomplishment afterwards, isn't there? Even if the accomplishment is simply survival. Whew, got through that.
Totally. Okay, so that's meaning one. Enduring difficulty. What's the second meaning?
Okay, the second significant meaning is, on the surface, quite different, but equally common. It's about successfully communicating a message, an idea, a concept to someone.
Ah, the communication one.
Yes, especially if there's resistance or misunderstanding or just general difficulty in the communication process itself.
So the barrier here isn't a task or a period of time.
Exactly. Here, the barrier is a lack of comprehension, or maybe a lack of receptiveness, or even a deliberate blockage from the other person.
Like talking to a brick wall.
Sometimes it feels like that. For example, it can be incredibly hard to get through to someone who is deliberately ignoring you, or maybe someone who's stubbornly refusing to listen to reason, perhaps because of deeply held beliefs or strong emotional walls they've put up.
Okay, trying to penetrate that resistance.
Precisely. Similarly, it can be a real challenge to get through a very complex technical explanation to a non-expert audience.
Oh, yeah. Explaining quantum physics to your grandma.
Right, maybe because of specialized jargon or abstract concepts, or just the sheer volume of information is overwhelming them. The message isn't landing.
Or trying to get through to a child about why they need to tidy their room.
Perfect example. The barrier there is often attention span or willingness to comply, or maybe they just don't understand the consequences you're trying to explain.
So this raises an important question you mentioned earlier. When we say we couldn't get through in this sense.
It often implies a significant barrier, something in the understanding or the receptiveness that prevented the message from actually landing, from being received and understood.
So it's not just about speaking or sending the message out.
Not at all. It's about being heard, being understood, and crucially, potentially being acted upon. The success here is measured by the recipient's comprehension and maybe even acceptance. It's about the message penetrating whatever obstacle was in the way.
Wow, okay. I see the connection now. That's brilliant, actually.
Isn't it?
In both cases, enduring a tough time or making a point, there's an obstacle. And getting through means successfully navigating or overcoming that obstacle.
That's the core.
For the first, meaning it's persevering through a difficult period or task. For the second, it's getting your message through a communication barrier.
Exactly. Penetrating the resistance.
You're trying to get through the noise, the misunderstanding, the emotional wall, the complexity.
All of those fit.
Like trying to get through a dense legal document to find the one key clause you need. The barrier is the complexity, the detail.
Good one. Or trying to get through to a customer service representative who just isn't grasping your unique problem no matter how many ways you explain it.
Oh, the frustration. It really highlights the effort required sometimes to achieve clarity and comprehension.
It absolutely does. So understanding get through provides you, the listener, with this remarkably versatile phrase. You can use it to talk about personal endurance in tough times and the successes or struggles of effective communication.
2 for 1.
It allows you to express the effort involved in perseverance and also that often frustrating experience of trying to convey information against resistance. This dual meaning makes it incredibly useful and quite nuanced.
It lets you speak with precision about overcoming challenges, whether those challenging are tasks, circumstances, or sometimes people.
Right. And it shows a pretty sophisticated understanding of English, I think, to deploy this phrase correctly in both contexts. It signals that you really grasp that underlying concept of overcoming a barrier.
And it often suggests resilience too, doesn't it? Like, I just need to get through this. There's an expectation of eventual success, even if it's hard.
Yeah, there's a forward motion implied. You're aiming for the other side.
All right, let's unpack our next phrase. Put up with something. This one, oh boy, this one really speaks to our resilience. Or maybe sometimes just our sheer patience in the face of annoyance.
Or lack thereof sometimes, yes. Put up with.
It's that moment when you kind of make a conscious choice not to complain, not to fight back, but to simply, well, endure, tolerate.
Often reluctantly.
Yeah, it's often a reluctant acceptance, isn't it? Maybe a strategic decision to maintain peace or maybe to achieve some greater goal, even if it costs you your immediate comfort.
That's a perfect way to describe the feeling behind it. Put up with something means exactly that, to tolerate or endure something unpleasant, annoying, or difficult. Crucially, without complaining loudly or taking active measures to change it right then and there.
So it's a passive.
It often suggests a reluctant acceptance, yes. Maybe because there's no immediate alternative you can see. Or perhaps the cost of change seems too high. Or maybe, quite simply, you're doing it for the sake of peace and harmony.
Right, avoiding conflict.
Exactly. This phrase describes a state of passive endurance. It's not active resistance, and it's certainly not enjoyment. It implies a degree of discomfort, inconvenience, maybe even suffering, that is being accepted, not embraced.
It's like, okay, fine, I'll live with this.
It's often a pragmatic choice, isn't it? To tolerate a less than ideal situation because the alternative is perceived as worse. Or maybe it's just unavailable right now.
And the phrase itself, put up with. Any clues there?
Well, the phrasal verb put up here, it kind of suggests a bracing, doesn't it? Like putting up a defense, putting up a shield, an internal bracing or resilience to absorb something unpleasant.
Ah, like you're shoring up your defenses.
Maybe. And then with implies this forced companionship, a coexistence with the unwanted thing. You're not fighting it directly. You're just coexisting with it, however unhappily.
Okay, that makes sense. And we all put up with little annoyances in life, don't we? It feels like part of daily existence sometimes. A testament to human adaptability, maybe.
Absolutely essential for getting through the day sometimes.
Like, perhaps it's a noisy neighbor's music that goes on just a little too late on a weekday night. And you just decide, you know what? It's not worth starting a fight over. I'll just put up with it tonight.
You weigh the options.
Yeah.
Annoyance versus confrontation.
Or a long, crowded commute on public transport every morning. You might hate it, but you resign yourself to the discomfort because, well, how else are you going to get to work? You put up with it.
Part of the routine.
Maybe it's even something as mundane as having to put up with slightly stale coffee at the office when you're desperate for caffeine and there's no other option.
It's a must.
These are things we just accept often as part of the landscape, rather than expending energy to actively fight against them in that moment. We might grumble internally.
Oh, definitely grumble internally.
But we don't actively try to change them right then. It's about finding a way to coexist with something you'd rather not because you're prioritizing other factors, convenience, peace, necessity over your immediate comfort.
Exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it can absolutely be about more significant compromises, more difficult life situations.
Like what?
Well, someone might put up with a really demanding boss. Someone with unreasonable expectations, maybe a difficult personality.
Why would they do that?
Because they value their job security, perhaps.
Yeah.
Or the income it provides is essential. Or maybe they see it as temporary. They're getting crucial experience they need for a future career move.
So they put up with the boss for now.
Okay, a means to an end.
Or think about a couple who might put up with a long-distance relationship for a period. They endure the separation, the loneliness, maybe the cost of travel.
For the sake of
a future together. Or maybe for career opportunities that can only be pursued apart for a specific time. They put up with the distance because the long-term goal is worth it.
So this phrase really highlights situations where we make a conscious, albeit often grudging, decision to endure something despite it being less than ideal. It's about weighing the pros and cons, isn't it? And deciding that enduring the discomfort is preferable to the disruption or the impossibility of changing the situation right now.
Which leads to an interesting question.
Yeah.
What determines our capacity to put up with things? And when do we finally decide, nope, can't put up with this anymore?
Ah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's often such a delicate balance between the external pressure or annoyance and our own internal breaking points. It's a constant negotiation between practicality and personal well-being, I think.
How much can you compartmentalize? How much can you prioritize other things over your own discomfort?
Exactly. It speaks volumes about our ability to do that.
So for you, our listener, this phrase, put up with, gives you a really precise way to express your tolerance, or maybe lack thereof, for these less than ideal situations, or to describe someone else's patience or endurance.
It's much more nuanced than just saying, I deal with it.
Yeah. I don't like it, but I deal with it. Sounds a bit clunky, but I have to put up with it. That captures something specific.
It captures that feeling of grudging acceptance, that sense of resignation mixed with resilience. It makes your English sound more authentic, more relatable, because it acknowledges these everyday compromises.
It's a key phrase, then, for describing the less than perfect aspects of life that we simply navigate because we have to, or because we choose to, for reasons that go beyond just immediate comfort.
It helps understand the subtle dynamics of compromise and perseverance in everyday life. It's a very human phrase.
Very human indeed. Okay, one more phrase to go. Now, for our final phrase today, one that's all about immediate action, zero delay, right away.
Ah, the urgency phrase.
Totally. Such a simple phrase, isn't it? Just two short words, but wow, so crucial for conveying urgency, immediate action needed.
It's like pressing the fast forward button on the conversation, as you said earlier.
Yeah, it just strips away all potential delay. It demands an instant response, often with a pretty clear expectation of swift compliance.
Absolutely. Right away means immediately, without any delay whatsoever. End of story.
Is it stronger than other words, like soon?
Oh, much stronger. It's one of the strongest, most direct, most unequivocal ways to express urgency and promptness in English. Unlike soon or shortly or even as soon as possible, which all allow for some flexibility, right? Some interpretation, maybe even a slight deferral.
Yeah, ASAP can sometimes mean when you get a chance.
Exactly. But right away leaves virtually no room for hesitation. No procrastination allowed.
And the right part, does that add something?
That word right before away acts as a powerful intensifier. It's almost like a verbal exclamation mark. It pushes away from just meaning soon or later to meaning this very instant.
Oh, okay. Like right now.
Very similar feeling, yes. It's a classic example of how these small words can dramatically amplify the meaning. It demands that an action starts at that very moment, or at least within the absolute shortest possible time frame. And it often implies that delaying that would have negative consequences.
Okay, examples. Think about situations where speed, that instant response, is absolutely essential.
Like in a work environment.
Yeah, your boss might say, I need that report right away for the meeting.
Meaning, drop everything else. This is priority number one, now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stop what you're doing, prioritize this above all else. Or, in a more critical situation, an emergency. If someone shouts, come here right away.
You don't ask questions, you just go.
Right. There's no room for questioning, no delay. Immediate presence is required because there's an urgent need. Something's wrong.
Or even when you're making a promise.
How so?
If something's broken and you say, don't worry, I'll fix it right away, that's a strong assurance, isn't it?
Yeah, it means you're going to take care of it without delay. Builds trust, conveys reliability.
Exactly. It conveys a commitment to an instant response. Whether you're giving instructions or offering help, it's the verbal equivalent of a flashing red light. Do this now.
What's fascinating about it, too, is its directness. It has a command-like quality, doesn't it? Even in casual settings sometimes.
It really does. It's often used in urgent requests, direct instructions, or critical declarations. It demands that instant response or action. It tells the listener, loud and clear, zero time to waste, action expected, without any lag.
Connect that to the bigger picture.
Well, this simple phrase can be absolutely critical in high-stakes situations where literally seconds matter. Think about medical emergencies. A paramedic might shout instructions right away.
Get the defibrillator right away.
Exactly. Or in critical business decisions where market conditions are changing fast and demand immediate action. We need to decide right away.
Buy or sell right away.
Or even in safety protocols where a quick response prevents harm. Shut it down right away.
So the implied consequence of not acting right away is often negative.
Usually, yes. It highlights the importance of immediate compliance or action. It's about cutting through any potential procrastination, any ambiguity about timing, and getting straight to the point. Immediate execution.
It's a verbal signal that the clock is ticking. Time for action is now.
Precisely. And while you could use a more formal word like immediately,
Yeah, right away.
right away, just carries a more personal, direct, often more urgent conversational tone. It feels more natural in everyday speech than the slightly more formal immediately. It hits harder, maybe.
Okay, that makes sense. So mastering right away really empowers you, the listener, to clearly and effectively communicate that sense of urgency, that promptness, which is invaluable, right? Both at work and just in everyday life.
Absolutely invaluable.
Whether you're giving instructions, making a request, offering assistance using right away, make sure your message lands as immediate. Non-negotiable, almost.
It adds a crisp, decisive tone to your communication. Makes you sound more authoritative, maybe more efficient.
It's a small phrase, but
Yeah.
yeah, huge impact on how your intentions are perceived. And definitely a hallmark of natural, direct English speech.
Cuts through the waffle.
Exactly. Cuts through any ambiguity about timing. Do it now. Hashtag outro. So, wow. We've taken quite a deep dive today into just 5 common English phrases. Under a lot of pressure, drop something off, get through, put up with something, and right away.
Just 5, but packed with meaning.
It's incredible, isn't it? How much meaning, how much nuance, even social cues can be packed into these seemingly simple expressions. They are so much more than just collections of words.
They really are. They're compact tools for precise, natural, and highly effective communication.
And as you always say, knowledge is most valuable when it's understood and applied.
Indeed. These phrases aren't just vocabulary words to memorize for a test. They are dynamic tools for more natural, more fluent, more precise communication.
They carry layers of context, implication, stuff single words just can't do.
Reflecting the complex ways we interact, the ways we experience the world. So the advice is always pay attention. Notice how native speakers use them. In everyday conversations, sure, but also in podcasts, films, books.
Listen for them.
Yes. And then try integrating them thoughtfully into your own conversations. Observe the specific situations where they pop up. Notice the subtle emotional cues, the context that surrounds them.
Because that's where the real learning happens, right? Not just the definition.
Exactly. That's the deep understanding.
So what stands out to you listening now about these everyday expressions? Do you hear them differently now, perhaps? With a new appreciation for their underlying power?
Hopefully.
We really encourage you to actively listen for them now. Use them consciously. And really feel the impact they have on your ability to convey meaning and also to understand the subtle currents of English conversation.
They really are the bedrock of natural fluency, the kind that makes you sound less like you swallowed a textbook.
Right, and more like a native speaker just talking.
Which raises, I think, one final important question for you to consider on your own.
Okay.
How many other seemingly simple, everyday phrases are we all using or hearing constantly without fully appreciating the depth and the nuance they add to our communication?
That's a great question. There must be hundreds.
Thousands, probably. Keep exploring. Keep digging into the hidden complexities in the language you use every single day. There's always more to discover, right there in front of us, just waiting to be unpacked.
Always more to learn. Thanks for that exploration today.
My pleasure. Always fascinating.